Welcome to one more session of Inspiring Conversations. We have a very interesting person today as well. And the stories unfold as I start discussing with him. I would like to request Mr. Mahesh Mudda to please come up on the stage so that we can begin our proceedings. Please. And before I do so, I would want you to see some powerful testimonials that this gentleman has got, something which all of us would aspire to get. Please.
Shri Manohar Joshi, former Chief Minister of Maharashtra and former Lok Sabha Speaker, said,
"Today is a very happy day and particularly the happiest day for Mahesh Mudda."
During the installation ceremony of Mr. Mahesh Mudda was full of praise for Abbas Bhai and the company.
Let me congratulate Mr. Mahesh. And this is indeed a great day for all of us. You have come a long way, not as a distance, but the struggle, the efforts, the dedication, the sincerity, all put together, and the vast experience which you had under the guidance of Mr. Abbas Bhai. And he has really built you. He is the person behind your career. And today this topmost responsibility which you could achieve, it is only because of some people who work very hard. And I find Mr. Abbas Bhai has done a lot to you. And you also with due sincerity. I mean, that's what is needed in life. You may achieve any heights, but sometimes we forget everybody who has been instrumental in bringing us to this stage. And that humility which you have, I think it will definitely create a history.
He's got something like 10 sites working at Bandi. But the amount of mobilization he did for this site and the cooperation that he gave to us, we wouldn't have achieved what we have achieved today.
Our contractors, again, I want to just acknowledge Mahesh Bhai's and his firm, NCCCL's contribution. You know, the chairman is a good friend of mine for many years, Mr. Abbas Jastanwala. And I was very worried that when they give this project to him, then people may think that it's okay because of some relationship. But to be fair, in this whole thing, whilst the whole discussion, everything was going on, not once did Abbas Bhai or Mahesh or anybody come and approach me. And ever since have never approached me and actually have looked at it as their own projects. It is, as I said, pretty unique to get such a big project done in such a short time and without the least interference. Another point actually I was thinking about last night, in terms of value of production, at least in our group, this will be the single largest project in terms of value of output that will give. So I want to thank you and your team, please convey to all of you.
Well, friends, that's what Mr. Mahesh Mudda is. Very actively developing this country. It's a construction company. It's just like an infrastructure company, doing some amazing work amongst the existing competition that India has. But this story began in a very different format. 30 years back, when he came from Latur to Mumbai, he came in and joined this company. This is his first company as an employee. And from there, in the last 30 years, he's grown to be the third largest stakeholder in the company. And he has given growth to the organization, which is unbelievable. I would also like to share one more aspect here, which we should all make a note of. The organization that he works with is 70 years old, and you will be shocked and surprised. 90% of the growth has come in the last 13 years. Okay. Last 13 years back, he was 17 years old with the organization. So last 13 years have been very crucial. So all of us entrepreneurs who are in business in our 17th year and 18th year, this is the threshold for unimaginable growth levels. So we should be looking forward to that. Maheshji, 30 years journey with an organization where you are heading business and taking entrepreneurship to a new level. How has this journey been? What has been your most important learnings?
Thank you, Rajesh ji. It's an amazing journey, I can say. I mean, everybody feels that yes, I have achieved something, but then for me, it's truly a beginning and a long way to go from here. But in this process, we always say learning is a process and which is ever ending. And truly, I've been learning many things, and today I feel, yes, I know a bit of it, which will definitely help me to take this organization to the next level. So it's a wonderful journey, I can say.
So I think in the year 2003, when the turnover started, the actual, the turning point of the organization as well as for you, happened during one of your international learning exposures that you did at Wharton. Did your mindset change after that?
Yes, of course, because I believe into learning, which because of that I keep reading books, interacting with people, attending these kind of sessions, and studying. And that is one of the part of it in 2003, because I chose to do the ISB Wharton program, where 3 weeks we were in Hyderabad, the ISB campus, and then 3 weeks in Wharton. And I must say, because in true sense, that was the time where I got exposure in terms of the wealth creation process, which is called, because value creation. Then I realized, because yes, because we earn profit out of the business is one, but to creating the wealth out of, because your shares, which because normally because if you keep it in the cupboard, because after so many years, because probably they turn into yellow, and because it's not worth even holding in your hand. But then how do we create value for that? So that is an amazing experience where I got exposure, and which I started working, because 3 honors I said, yes, I think, no, looking back now, I think, how do we? So then you have to reach to the people. So we started, because, going to the places like Bangalore and Chennai and Ahmedabad, many places. Otherwise, we were predominantly working into Mumbai, Pune. So one is exposure of that, and then because experience, because you are working, because that was a combination of two, which gave a edge to the organization to really compete with the peers in the market, and then slowly start creating the valuation. So people started looking at you. Why will anybody? Because we say, because I always use the term, because we started maturing ourselves and people started noticing us. So that was the process. And then because in 2003, after I came back from there, because I started, how do I begin? Because who are the people from the industry? Because whom should I look upon, and because how do I learn from them? So big companies like L&T's and Shapoorji's, Bilimura, because 3 companies were there. I said, why are they big? Why are they different? And institutions like HDFC and bankers. And so that is how I started, interacting with people. And that journey has been very, very interesting.
What is the turning point that happened after 2003, after almost 57 years of your organization? What is that different that you did, which really took your organization on a different route?
As I told, our turnover was very small in 2002, 2003, because I remember because of people celebrating when we touched 25 crore. But I was internally not happy, because how can they, because when other companies, peer companies were saying they're talking about 100 crore, 200 crore, 1000 crore, I said 25, been still happy. I said no. And I said, what is the difference between them and us is only because your commitment, your involvement, your initiative. So I started talking internally with the people. I said, look here buddies, because I have put my 17 years into this organization, I'm not happy. Because there are people who have been there for 36 years, they are happy. For them, very less to, because they have had their career. For them, nothing to lose. For us, lot is on the stake. So if we all work together, we can really create a history. And because we have that kind of pedigree, we have got that kind of background, we got that kind of presence in this industry, there are hardly any companies who have completed this kind of number of years. So I said, why don't we cash on to that? And we started with that process, and because as I told, we started branches, because approaching the architects, clients, discussing with them.
So you broke the geographical boundaries basically, right from focusing only on Bombay and Pune, you went to Bangalore, you went to Chennai, you went to Delhi, you went to Gurgaon, Absolutely. You went all across the country, and that's how you did it.
We reached to Himachal Pradesh, Uttaranchal, most difficult places.
Okay, so you made that your business strategy of going to places where others dread to go. You also built a team on the way. I have a situation to share with you. He used to eat his breakfast at a very famous Udupi restaurant. And there used to be a same table where he used to sit and eat that breakfast. There used to be a waiter who used to serve him. And the waiter was very meticulous in serving him. Guess what happened? He changed his fortunes. He picked him up from being a waiter. Today he is a purchase director in the company. In 25 years. And that guy is so loyal that they never have to check what he's doing on. So I think one of the traits of an entrepreneur is also to pick up the right people on your journey of life, empower them, give them growth, because ultimately their growth is leading to your growth. So I think that's what he's done with multiple people. I'm just giving this an example of a person who's to just serve him the breakfast at a restaurant. What do you believe as a part of team building? Because you're in the line of business where your success, like every other business, but more so in your business, depends on your core team. So what do you do to select your team and how do you empower them?
See, we very easily talk this term of teamwork, team spirit. But in true sense, to put it, it is very difficult. One has got to deal with your people with a lot of affection. And family we do, with our own, because brothers, sisters we do, and we try and, because understand them. At times they are wrong, because still we could try and, because, take them along with us. When it comes to organization, because then when you are growing on the ladder, on the growth path, then most of the time people think that this I know that I know factor because it truly brings you down. So in my case, because as you rightly gave that example, so such a wonderful example, probably because it can go in one of the best case studies. This boy was so good because before my marriage, I used to go very frequently there for my lunch. And with always smile on his face. In fact, today also if you meet him, because this guy, I've never seen him because in those kind of, making faces or problems. And I used to like something, say, because I like this, or I like crispy roti, because I like that my water glass to be clean and like this. And he understood me, and whenever I used to go with smiling face, he used to come and serve me, talk to me nicely. And that gave me because very good feeling. And then I started talking with him. Then I told one day, because why don't you, because are you happy with this? Sir, happy, abhi gaon se aaya, to yahan pe happy rehna padega. So would you like to come because in our organization? So kya karna hai sir? Hamara canteen hai, uska tum dekho kuch bhi. And from that, because this boy started taking interest, because became because the courier, because the looking boy, or Xerox, those used to be there. Then operator job. Today, because as Rajesh told, because he is because whole and soul, because such a trusted person, because we call him like a fire brigade of company, because 24/7, anything you tell, this boy doesn't know, because he'll never say no or because I don't know. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, and because he'll see that it is happening, no Sundays, no holidays, no nothing. So this loyalty comes out of because your kind of affection. You have to treat them like that. So the moment, because it's give and take in life, because you take people along with you. I think I always say leader is the one when he's walking and he looks behind, there has to be crowd behind him. You can't be alone leader.
Fantastic, fantastic. I'll share a very interesting situation. In the year 2003-2004, there was a contract by Hindustan Lever. They wanted to build their corporate office, 16 lakh square feet office. The bidders were the top players of this country, Shapurji Palanji, L&T, Billy Moria, and even NCCCL, okay, a new consolidated construction company limited. The quantum of the contract was the turnover of this company at that point of time. And he was also one of the bidders. And he got the bid. So that was surprising, beating that kind of competition. And not only did he beat the competition, the challenge was constructing 16 lakh square feet in 16 months. And they did that. Foreign principles, absolute monitoring, microscopic control, even if it is being contracted out to an organization. He beat all of that and he did that. So did you learn how to manage to win tenders, or it was a strategy?
I think that was a great experience for me in life. I will never forget. And to be very frank, that job probably gave me a greatest courage of my life to take this organization to the next level. And it was impossible. In fact, within our organization, because the few of our people and directors, they felt that probably because he's been just wasting time. Because I was attending meetings after meetings after meetings after meetings, because I was myself going there. Because for me, I was so fascinated about this job. I said, God, you have to help me. Because this job, if we get, is in Mumbai. I got a strength. It is in hometown. And if we did do this, then no looking back. And because truly that happened. And because the competition was tough, when we came to the last leg of the negotiation, see, all our presentations were good. My understanding was good. When they, till that time, they had not seen the balance sheet. Because people involved, they saw a balance sheet. They said, Mr. Mudda, all that is fine, but then we have concern. I think your company is too small to handle this kind of job. I said, why are you saying, sir? He said, your turnover is not equal to contract value what we are talking. I said, sir, that is where because strength lies. How? I said, sir, I'm putting the whole organization at your stake at your job. All your conditions I'm agreeing. And let me tell you one thing. And what happened during that was final conversation, they had their foreign team. They wanted to see the final bidders. There I scored maximum marks. So other end, because the foreigner talking, Mr. Mudda, because your company is not even 1/10 of the size of the. I said, again I repeated, sir, that is why I'm telling, and let me tell you one thing, Mr. So-and-so, I don't remember his name now, but I said, today, about this job, as much I know, I don't think anybody sitting in this room, or probably you know about your job. I have myself attended 21 meetings. I don't know exactly, and because I have made my program how to execute job from the day one to completion. I made all the plannings. I went on describing. There was complete silence, and end of my discussion, he said, fantastic, I think we'll speak with our team. Post that meeting, because Mr. Director, I can give the name, Mr. Mutreja, HUL Director from Indian, he called me, met me out, and he just gave me one pat. I said, Mr. Mudda, I made my job little easy. Let me see. He was very keen because he was seeing that kind of passion into me. And that is how we're not lowest for that matter. We got that job, but it was a tough job, difficult job, but fantastic experience of my life, I must say. And that gave us, experience of quality we used to talk, but what really quality means, what really safety means, what really because housekeeping means, what really because in environmental aspects, because when we talk about, there were almost more than 18 trees because we had to save all of them. That itself was one project, and what we learned through that was again amazing. And at one point of time, we had 2,100 laborers working, literally all shifts, 3 shifts. And this gave this organization a different, because ultimately, because where we come, your commitment, your perseverance power. Because I was madly, because I was eating, sleeping, drinking, anything was HUL. And then I decided, because they're saying, because if you decide something and if you really, put your whole heart, soul towards it, I think whole world comes to help you. Fantastic. So, because saying is very easy, but then doing is very difficult.
Fantastic. Fantastic. I think 20 buses, you stationed them at Dindoshi. They used to travel in those 20 buses, 2,100 people to the site at Andheri. I used to always keep wondering at that signal that who must have made this beautiful building. It's a pleasure and a privilege to be sitting and talking to the same man who dreamt it and made it happen in 16 months' time. You will be surprised to know that the whole contract, by the time the project got over, the contract quantum in terms of rupees was 3 times the turnover of their company. And at every stage, they kept getting it. And I think that was one big push that was required to your organization at that point of time. And then there was no looking back.
Absolutely. Because, see, the way we were working, we won the confidence of those people. And initially, it was only civil contract. Then it was allied, because, you were finishing, you were glazing, and so on and so forth. I used to go and say, Mr. Mutreja, I'm doing everything whatever you want. Another thing I must share with you, this is, there was time I got my first C-class Mercedes, and I had driver, so I never used to get an opportunity to drive car, and I was a bit scared because to drive on the road, kidhar lag jayega, and that kind of feeling. But night I used to come home around 9:30, 10 o'clock, have my dinner, and take that car and go to that site. As I started, then I realized not only client, because they had cameras all over, because and that reporting used to go up to UK office and US office. And one of the meeting they started, Mr. Mudda is amazing, that kind of commitment you all have. So we have been seeing that 10 o'clock in the night you have been visiting site. I said, this is amazing.
So your joyride was also adding to your value.
So then I look back, I said, in life, really this is, because so simple, but because you got to do it yourself.
Fantastic, fantastic. I think that was a very, everything was working positive towards all the decisions that you made. Friends, we all travel at railway stations, we all travel at bus stations at some point of time in some emergencies, and we very often travel on the airports. Airports are very lucky places. Flying on the airlines is also considered to be very, very lucky. I must have got 500 experiences. Most of you all must have had many experiences. Guess what? There was a lucky experience for Mr. Mudda also. In 2003, 2004, he was sitting at the airport and there was a man reading a newspaper. And that man was Deepak Parekh. That newspaper converted into other type of paper that we all work for. But friends, there is a learning in that. This happened in 2003, 2004. And that was his first interaction with Deepak Parekh. Rest was history. He will say what happened after that.
See, I have one habit. I don't think in my, ever since, because I've been traveling, but whichever the source, I never missed my bus or plane. I always go at least 1 hour. My wife also at times laughs. My kids, they say, what is Pa? Because why you do that? I said, look here, we are ready. 1 hour sitting at home, what do we do? Let me go there. And because I'm always, I love meeting people, by interacting with them. And whenever I go there, I always see somebody suited, booted, tie. I said, somebody, how does it matter? If he says, talks to me, well and good. Doesn't talk to me, I lost nothing. So I just go there, sit there. One is because no anxiety about reaching traffic tha, last moment to come and gates are closed and somebody is, because showing, because some sort of faces onto, no question. You reach there quietly, sit, go and lounge, because and then read something and then meet people. So it happened. So in 2004, I went there and I saw that Mr. Deepak Parekh reading some novel. So I said, this seems to be like Deepak Parekh. I was trying to Delhi to go to Chandigarh and reach Himachal Pradesh, our job. We started recently that time. So I said, I must meet him at least. Such a big personality. Where you get chance? Because to get his appointment was impossible. So I quietly went to him, so good morning. So he just looked up and said, yeah, good morning. So I took my card and gave it to him. Mahesh Mudda, new consolidated, Jasdanwala group we write normally, because I started that. Jasdanwala group, which phase or Abbas? I said, Abbas. Oh, yeah, I know this family, very good. So what do you want? I said, no, sir, just wanted to meet you and because we are in the growth process now and we need, because support of HDFC, like people, if they support us, we can really take this organization next level. What's your turnover? As I told, 25, 30 crore. So when I said immediately, look, how old companies? I said close to some 57, 50. But why there is no growth? Sir, there are many reasons. But then now I am very clear. In next 5 years, because I'll take 10 times. He smiled. Interesting. Then he said, good luck. Then he took my card, then I also went and sat, forgot about whole thing. After 3 months, I get a call from his office, when Mr. Vishwanath and his PA, Mr. Mudda, I believe a couple of months back you met Mr. Parekh and he has asked you to see such and such, 3 o'clock come to our office. I go to his office. He said, come sit, and offered tea, coffee. Said, I was very happy because the kind of enthusiasm you had. And this is a good organization, good family. And now we were talking about growth process. Just wait. Then he called Mr. Krishnamurthy. He was their general manager then. Now he's the MD and CEO of the property fund. Said, KG, meet this gentleman. I liked his approach and very interesting, good organization. It has been long time, but then there was no growth process. But this boy is confident. He was talking 10 times he'll do it. Just understand. And we went down with him, sat in his cubicles, explained him everything. And that was the end of it. And the KG also said, "Hey, Babu, आपको बहुत एफर्ट डालना पड़ेगा, ये बात करने से कहाँ होता है अपने दुनिया में, बहुत डिफिकल्ट है. सर हो जाएगा. And then onwards, what had happened was that KG Krishnamurti was also regarded as one of the, God for this industry, because people respect him very much because he helped many people. So I said, thanks God, I got introduction to this gentleman also. So I started saying, sir, aap to hamare guru hai, aisa hai, waisa hai. And every 3 months, 6 months, I used to go meet him, just keep briefing him. So 30 became 70, 120, 180, 200, close to 300 when he came. So he started taking interest into us. It's like I always say, because when girl is matured, then only you feel, no, because, but I always tell people, you please, because wait, once you matured, then you have to just present yourself properly. Then people will queue into for you, because you don't have to worry about it. So he started discussing, started calling me at times. And that discussion started taking a lot of interesting turn. And at the same time, I started talking with a couple of this, equity funds. And that is how, because HDFC took a call to invest with us. There is no merchant banker, nobody, one-to-one with Mr. KG Krishnamurti. We shook a hand, and 2008, see, because time again, you got to have that kind of tenacity, that kind of perseverance power, and that kind of commitment into you. Nothing over. People, abhi hua to, next day what? Next day what? Because keep working. Then next day nothing will happen. Time will come when probably, because I always tell people, if you want to achieve something or you want to have something for you, please put down the things, work towards it without thinking of, because karmanne vadikaraste mahafaleshu kadachinam. So that doesn't mean that because you don't have to worry about the because fruits. Fruits will come plenty, but you keep working. So it literally in those terms happened. It was an amazing experience. The whole industry knows people who are in the industry. 200 crore HDFC in 2002, one-to-one, no merchant banker, and they invested. They have been our partners at entity level till today.
Wow. So getting HDFC as a partner, they are used to giving loans and then recovering them very well. But here they have invested in equity. I have also started keeping a novel with me these days when I travel to the airport. If I see Deepak Parekh, I'll first make him read it, then give my card, then make a pitch. Friends, the story doesn't end there. And when this 200 came to the company, it is something different that this entrepreneur did. He, generally when a company gets funded, the promoters take some part of the money, go home, have a good life, go on a Europe trip, buy some cars, go buy a plane also at times if the quantum of input is big. Something different happened in this organization. They invested this money in a plot. They bought a plot for 170 crores at a place near Mahalakshmi Racecourse. During that period of time, 170 crores today is now going to be converted into a project. HDFC is a 39% stakeholder in this organization. Okay, that's the best business card one can have. So when you have an organization like HDFC as your equity partner, you get access to anything and everything in this country. So that was his triumph card. The second triumph card was they bought this plot. Now they are unfolding the development of this plot. Can you guess what will be the quantum of that single project? No. It is a 3,000 to 3,500 crore project. So not only getting funded, as entrepreneurs we need to realize that when we get the funds, how do we deploy it? How do we make sure that it gives us maximum benefit possible? This is being unfolded and it's supposed to be one of the best upcoming projects in Bombay. And I'm sure they are from the construction industry. They are not builders. They are not developers. They are a contracting organization which do challenging jobs across the country. We need to imagine what they will do to their own project. Out of the 70-year-old experience that they have, they will put their best minds together and create something unbelievable. That's what I propose. Few of us can definitely book at initial stages. We will take that leverage. We will show him the photo that we clicked with him on this event. And we will blackmail him for that. So that was something very interesting. How do you use the funds that come into your organization? Deploying it the right way. And I'm sure that HDFC card helped the organization grow as well.
100%. As Rajesh ji told, getting money was one challenge. But then after coming, it was the biggest challenge. Because I always think we are always in this kind of position at a fiduciary capacity. Because you can't say that this is my money, because it's somebody else's money. You got to deal with very due diligent way. And you got to give that kind of importance to that. We have to very carefully manage that money. And because we started thinking, what do we do? Where do we utilize and how do we? Because some portion of money we started utilizing to bring the growth. So that is how we reached sometime 2012 range, because 4 years it took around 500, 600 crore, which we have been maintaining and because growing, because every year by 100 crore, 150 crore. But again, investing money and doing contracting is also not good business, because we have to always, because do the business with, I always call within the organization, OPM, other people's money. Because you can't put your money and do the business. That is smartness, because creditors, how you to utilize creditors' money, because credit worthiness. Because we have been there for donkey's number of years, and with that kind of credibility. And clients who have been enjoying very good reputation. So upfront I asked them about money for your job, because my job is to give the delivery, the best quality, speed, and then best budget. Money you have to pay. So we don't try and put our money. So this money, because we started using, so we've been working for all these developers all over the country. We got such a rich experience. We created our brand. Why don't we create backward integration for ourselves? So that is how this process started. And then we started looking out for opportunities in, because metro cities, and luckily we came across this. I did not waste the time, because one stroke, one deal, 170 crore we paid, got the registration done. It's a clean, clear-cut property, because it is impossible to get in this city, because they always come with some tags along with that. So absolute clean property. Today, because Rajesh told that we are in the process of drawing board, because the architects are working. Probably a couple of months down the line, we should be talking about the launch of the project. And no doubt, I think it shouldn't amount to me making big statement, but then it will be one of the best, because 70 years we have ourselves, because put that kind of experience, we have learned so many things, which we'll try and put into our own baby and make the best out of it. I'm sure.
That's fantastic. And you will be surprised to know this. Prestige Group, everybody must have heard of, from Bangalore. Prestige Group is a 29-year-old organization. 29 years back, that group was involved with land trading business. 29 years back, this was the company which motivated them and instigated them to become developers. Since 29 years till date, every square feet built by Prestige anywhere and everywhere is built by Mr. Mahesh Mudda and his organization, NCCCL. So I think this talks volumes of customer retaining. The customer retention, which is a challenge in most of the enterprises. I think one of your organization's strength is that. So Ajay Piramal, all the buildings and projects, Ajay Piramal is one of the most liquid rich guy in this industry in the country for the real estate sector. He's one of the biggest liquid fund available for developers across the country, across boards. So all their personal projects are also developed by this organization. So it speaks volumes about identifying the right customers, because I have seen the profile. You have selected very, very nicely. It is like matchmaking, like getting married to a girl. You have made sure that you have not done it with the wrong party. You have selected the right people. What do you do? What is that extra mile that you go to make sure that the customers are always retained by you? Here,
I think, Rajesh, I must definitely do credit to our chairman, who is 81-year-old today. His, professional upbringing, value-based business systems, ethical business systems, and the relationship. Because we give a lot of importance to relationship, because end of the day, your reputation is more important than money. If people believe into you, money will come. So we never take any shortcuts, and we never try to jump into taking the contract. So we are very choosy, very selective. We discuss probably, I must say, because one of the few contractors where whenever I'm discussing about any project, when we come to FAG, I do not hesitate to talk to a client. Sir, let me know, because from where this funding of this project is going to be. Sometimes they like, they do not like. But then I say, sir, because I'm not asking myself for aapke project ke liye. You want to do this project in time, you want to do this kind of quality, so I must know from where money is coming, because if I stop the project, more than you, because it's a credibility of my organization. People say, hey, contractor ka kaam, because who NCC is doing work is not happening. So I take them into confidence. If projects are good, I go to the extent of helping them to get the money organized. Sometimes they do not have those kind of resources. We have, because I'm socially very well connected. I love meeting people. I love making friends. And
he is also on the board of a couple of funds. Please make a note of that when you interact with him.
So, that helps greatly to, give the business to each other and look after your company's interests also. So I think honesty is the best policy, because if you are honest, I think people understand you in long term.
Does your honesty cost a little more to the customers in terms of contract pricing?
Not really, truly speaking.
Or you're competitive even if they're old customers?
We are very, very competitive, because in long run, you may, because people may find it on the face of it, maybe little higher compared to any other contractor. But in long run, in terms of, we don't cheat them on quality. Your product is being delivered to you faster, so cash flow for them is faster. So you may feel that 5% somebody is quoting low, but if he's delaying your project by 12 months, you can imagine that cash flow hit. So people, they understand, that is how they come repeatedly. We have been working with clients like Prestige or Piramals or Bagmane from Bangalore, many of the companies, multinational companies, for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. So you can imagine how could this happen. Otherwise, in contracting, one contract and that's end of it.
Sometimes people have 3 contractors in one project.
End of the contract, there is some dispute, there is some argument, there is some claim, and you are ending up with some sort of
compromise.
And then you have no issue, otherwise option but to do that. But then in our case, we don't get into that.
How do you depend on innovation, and what is the process of getting innovation in your working?
Today, we keep talking about technology. So in-house as well as at site. In-house, if you say, because we come long way there also, from the manual accounting to, because the computerization and some local, those basic and COBOL and those kind of programmings, to now this is the, I think, first year we started this process almost 5 years back. We have fully implemented the SAP system in our organization in all the modules, whereby we have 42 sites happening all over the country, geographically spread, I said, from Sikkim to Chennai down. Sikkim, Himachal Pradesh, Chandigarh, Uttaranchal, Delhi, Noida, Mumbai, Pune, Bangalore, Kolkata, not Kolkata, Ahmedabad. So most of the places it is impossible in our business to control by sitting here. So with this SAP tool, we have got connected everybody, so then everything is online. People know also there is no gap about anything. Second, at site, in terms of form work, in terms of equipment, we have been upgrading on regular basis. So dependency on the laborers, it comes down. So it's a great advantage if you think all the time innovative, n number of products are available. And today, recently, because 6 months back, we have tied on with the JV agreement with the Australian company. Probably we are the first one in India to do the 3-dimensional construction technology. This is called 3D technology. Because we have the precast, which is 2D. We have got normal conventional, but this is 3D, where because no joints, and you do such a faster construction, because in 15 days, because you can have the ground plus 4-story, 20 apartments building ready. And this is not story, this is not theory, this is not some experience I am telling, but this is actual which is happening. With this technology, we got the job from Tata Housing at Boisar. We are doing 2,000 apartments. We just started the project 2 months down the line, back. And we've been going ahead with extremely good experience there also.
Fantastic. I think that deserves a round of applause from us, and we will open the house for questions. We can start asking questions. Yes. I think Ketan has a question to ask.
Good evening, Mahesh. I know Mahesh for last 20-25 years. When I was in L&T Cement, I was going to him for selling the cement. And I know whenever I used to quote him the price, he used to never agree because he used to have the information of L&T ECC. आप इतने में प्राइस बेचते हो तो मुझे वो सीमेंट में वो भाव में प्राइस देना. I have got 2 small questions. I have given this background. One, you are known in the industry as the best MIS person. Your management information system, your data is high class. from where you get this energy, number one, and from where you get the source of this information. Because a man to L&T is giving me the purchase order. My second question, in last 7 years, you have been touching the untouchables. I have seen you partnering with certain builders where, as a supplier, I am not dare to even supply the cement to him. And you are financing him and making that person to build high-class projects. How?
I think
You're asking his connections or business models?
I am thinking him as a Deepak Parekh so that I can get an image.
thank you very much. And I think it's.
I hope you remember my face.
Yes.
We have been meeting at least once in a month.
Yes. Thank you very much. And I think it's very simple. It's belief into yourself and believing in the people. I think I don't come from the background where because I say somebody's bad. I hate that. I don't like anybody criticizing anybody because you have no rights to criticize anybody. Because we got our own lot of drawbacks. If people start doing that, probably I wouldn't be sitting here. So why people are saying this organization is bad and why? Because we shouldn't work, they're not supporting them. I study them, go to their background. Yes, there are ups and downs for everybody in the business. I went to the extent of, I'm not naming because you know that, so went to the extent of meeting them, discussing with them, understanding their business model, why they are going like this, why they are, because thinking about their future, talking to them, to the extent convincing them, your model, organization is very good, because these are the issues. I want to partner with them, with you, because let's take the strength of, because your strength is into this, because land acquisition, permissions, you created your brand, but you're failing now in deliveries. The moment failure in delivery comes, your money flow goes out. People, because bias, because they don't pay money. Suppliers, because they're not getting their money in time, so they because don't supply you. So it's a very vicious circle. So to break that, I said, I will partner with you. Let's use our brand. The moment, because NCC, because you'll see the change. Why I was doing this? Because by doing this, again, as a sort of backward integration, Rajeshji, because I saw the volume. I sat with them, understood with their CFO and their whole team. Millions of, because square feet work is available. We converted that because in 5 years, we're talking about 3,000 crores of turnout. I said, this is sitting in my backyard here. And why should I go into circling all over the world? So let me put my, because faith into them, convert them, teach them.
Change their attitude, basically.
Change their whole attitude. And we've done that successfully.
I also know the financial tool that he uses for this, but I can't share that here.
And I know the person to whom he has partnered. You have answered my second question, sir.
He wants to know about your
first question. How you used to get that purchase order of L&T?
Again, as I tell, because the moment we both become one, you start trusting me. Because I'm talking fair business. Because the moment you see that, because we are both are one, but you open up yourself. So that's why I always tell them, because because these suppliers, they are my suppliers. I always tell them they are associates, they are partners. अरे भाई आप पार्टनर है तो आपको शेयर करने में क्या तकलीफ क्या है? You want business, no? So that is where that bonding comes. Then people open up.
So he had his. Yes, the next question. Yeah, Ishwar. Yes. Okay, Rohit.
Yeah, my question to you is that you said that you've been maintaining relationship with your client for 10, 20, 30, 40 years. So did any time you had to compromise on the values, or it was all the time based on the trust and the confidence? Because in the industry there are the big fishes, they always try to, sometimes not always, sometimes try to exploit you because you're a small player and they have a big business to give you. So how did you deal with these situations? Or did you come across to any such situation where your payment was stuck and you did not receive your payment?
See, compromising your value systems, it is again up to you. Nobody will force on this world. Because I always tell them, everybody, that because it is you who decide what you want. nobody can force themselves onto you. So there are ways and means of dealing. I mean, because you can't be always saying that I am right. You can say same thing because in a different way and still get your work done. So I know the definitely art of getting things done from the people. That much I can say. Any situation, anybody, however difficult.
So
however
what is that one X factor?
No, because simple, because your humility and your commitment. People see into your eyes, people see in your body language, because whether I'm there to take advantage of you or give advantage to you. The moment I talk about giving you, I'm sure because you will, in 99%, 1% you come across good, bad, uglies, but then 99% because people, even however bad they are, they change their attitude. They say, but this guy has been genuine. He means business. I think we can't deal him like that. And then because with the experience you keep, because meeting people, you understand, definitely.
So he's not come through that situation. No. The smartest thing that he as an entrepreneur has done is he selects his clients, simple.
Thank you.
And when he studies his clients, he also studies his strong and weak points. Probably then he positions himself rightly. Ishwar, I was telling you Mr. Suhas Deshpande, architect Suhas Deshpande.
Yes, yes.
The Vision Crest.
Yes, I heard about him.
Built by him in 22 months, one of the fastest built building in Maharashtra probably. Yes. In 22 months it was built. I was just discussing with him about that and you're here. And you're also asking a question now.
Yeah, actually. Yeah. So I wanted to elaborate on 3D technology. And the other question is, you are actually known for giving the projects in time. So when you do the projects in the metropolis like Mumbai, how the authority, sanctions of authority and comes into your, delivering schedule, and how do you do it in that schedule? If you do not have the sanctions from the authority and the approvals of plans and the further commencements and all. So do you take into consideration that also when you give the schedule for completion of the projects? Yeah,
first I'll answer your 3D question, because in any case I'll definitely post this, I'll ask my office to send you the complete presentation. There is nothing to hide about it, and you'll understand in more detail. But in nutshell, because this is amazing technology where, because no joints, no nothing. Suppose this house, this room we are talking, whole room is being cast in the very controlled environment. And because it comes out within because 24 hours, because you can take it out also. Because in the controlled environment where, because your water, your curing, your all those things are happening, it's like absolutely industrialization of the housing in true sense. Because it is happening in the factory controlled environment. So this amazing technology I'll share with you definitely. And because about schedule times, because we really don't deal with any of these government authorities. So because we deal with the client, because that is their because the area where to get the permissions and all. But what we do, because I never get into the hurry of starting the job, I always tell them, please share your drawings with me. Don't push because us to just start the excavation, whereby because we all will start and start waiting. You get your permissions in time, you have the clarity, then I will mobilize the site. So that works well in because wherever people are genuine.
Yes, last two questions. Yes, Ishwar.
Hi, so you were talking about multi-location, so many people on delivering projects on time, especially in construction industry. It would be required lots of mammoth project management. What do you do for that? How do you manage projects? Because right now I'm talking to one of the international company, Turner International, and they are struggling with the project management because they also do 1,000 projects a year. So how do you do the project management in such a labor-intensive, multi-location situation?
That is where the technology helps. As I was telling you, this SAP, today there's something called DPR, Daily Progress Reports. Of all sites, end of the day, because each site project team, they have to feed in the data. So on daily basis, there is update on how things are moving. There's something called budget. There is something called actual. This is being regularly monitored and controlled. Otherwise, it is impossible. Things will go haywire only. So this technology and people's commitment. End of the day, because technology is what? Because garbage in, garbage out. But then good data, which is being fed, is most important. So that's why there is a monitoring. There is a regular, analysis being done, and people are involved. Their presentations. So there is good control through the system.
Yes, Yanago.
you've been in the construction industry for 70 years, and Rajesh tells that you're just getting into the development part of it. You motivated only now to get into the development. Why weren't you motivated before itself to get into that?
I think we done before this in Pune, because in 93-94 we done small project. Almost 2 years back we completed one project in Pune. Bangalore we done something, but those were all small, because we're understanding that process. And another thing, because I can openly tell, and it's a known fact that in development, because a lot of ambiguities were there, and because not clarity, dealing with the government and those kind of aspects, which we never wanted to get into that. But things are changing now. There's a lot of clarity, a lot of professionalism. People understand now because what they really need to bring the growth for their own state or the country. So we'll be into that bracket where, because this kind of project where, because we'll be dealing very upfront from the word go with all the authorities. So I don't think, because I can tell with that kind of confidence that none of authorities can dare to, because mess around with us. We will not tolerate that. And they mean business now, because I've been interacting. We took this call after having a lot of interaction with the authorities. And I understand they need good people in the system. It's not that because everybody's bad. So I think there is a lot of scope for doing this, and because it will help us for backward integration, as I told, because we don't have to all the time look back for the contracting outside. So it is we're doing at arm's length. Our own company can do the same thing.
So which is going to be your future?
Now, because no, definitely it's a mix of it. Because contracting, I want to make it as strong as possible, because that is the strength of this organization.
But what happens after you start tasting the sweet taste of developers' profits?
That will be always, because icing on the cake, because we've been enjoying our cake. So this will add to the flavor.
Thank you. Yes. Yeah, Kunal.
Good evening, sir. Thoroughly enjoying myself. You have had such a beautiful exposure to education. I want to know what motivated you to get such an international exposure, and one key learning that you implemented in your organization that helped you grow.
About education, yes. What motivated me is my failure. In 81, I come to Mumbai with the dream of doing the chartered accountancy, and started doing my articleship. I completed my 3 years articleship. I could not clear in any of the exams. And but one thing with me, that because I'm very positive guy, and never ever, because maybe because from young days, one is our upbringing in the family and my own reading exposure. Never in life I think negative about anything. I say always there is tomorrow, and I say always there is other side to it. And at times our students who were studying with me, they used to criticize me, laugh at me. Arey, kya tum to yaar study nahi karta hai? I said, doesn't matter. How does it matter any of the degrees, boss? Karenge kuch na kuch karenge. So, and that is how I started. And let me tell you, today I have got, because more than I think 18-20 chartered accountants working with us. And
and the funny part is, during his stint of doing his chartered accountancy, in that particular group, the guy who topped is now working with him.
He is my CFO and company secretary. So in life, and then since I couldn't do that, I was thinking, well, what do I do? So there are many advanced management programs with this. I've done Harvard that program. I've done Wharton. So because you need to have that experience of 10 years, 20 years as an entrepreneur or director. And I was qualifying for that and got an advantage of that.
But I think this education exploits also gave you business opportunities.
Yes, yes.
In Wharton, you met people who gave you business here.
Amazing, because Wharton, that group, we had Thermax chairman, that Meher Padamji, she was one of our Wharton group member. Then Ambuja Cement, Mr. Pulkit Sakseria. So many of them.
So you recovered 100 times of the fees that you paid for the course.
Believe me, because post we came back, I done Thermax, their corporate office in Pune. No tender, no nothing. So that helps in life. Ambuja Cement is like my company. Because anytime you telephone, any difficulties, Pulkit, the job is done. It helps in life.
Mahesh, how many times did you repeat that program? Yeah, Vivek, you are supposed to ask a question. Okay.
Yeah, I'll ask that. Mahesh ji, I have one question to you. Construction industry and development, all these things are really progressing quite a lot in today's world with Modi ji's prime ministership. I wanted to ask, what is the role your company is going to play in the advancement that this country is going through right now in this phase for the next 10 years? What's the future for your company?
Very interesting, very interesting. I think I was discussing the other day with Rajesh ji, and I think this is a very important question. Today, our Prime Minister's vision is that by 2020, house for everybody. And we are talking phenomenal numbers. I don't want to get into that. The state government, I met our CM, Mr. Devendra Fadnavis. He has got very ambitious programs. So because being into this industry, I always thought, because how do I contribute? When you start contributing, it is going to add value to your organization and you will definitely make money. But the motive is not only make money. So from that point of view, this technology, what we are talking, this took almost 14 months for us to discuss with these people, negotiate with them, convince to them, get that technology into this country and being put into use. So we are talking everyday house. Today I am in the process of talking with Turkey, one of the company in Istanbul. And there also they talk everyday flow. It's called tunnel form technology. Deshpande Sahib, because you must be know. So I've been discussing at very advanced stage with these guys, also tying up with them. Simultaneously, I'm discussing with government saying that let everybody work with you, we'll be different. In these words, I told to CM also, sir, because let's talk serious business. So they need good people. So as you rightly said, because today going forward, mass housing is the only solution. Because we are definitely there, and down the line, couple of years, you all will definitely see, witness, and bless us with the way we are progressing.
Fantastic. Vivek, last two questions. Vivek and Praveen.
Sir, not to sound negative, but farmers were committing suicide. They said builders are, and 2 builders unfortunately committed. Give us 4 reasons or impetus which the government is doing, 4 specific ones to push this industry.
Sorry, I
didn't No, forget that. That was just an added thing to it.
He said, like farmers, now even builders have started committing suicide.
So give us 4 specific positive impetus the government is talking about, because we've been hearing for the last 2.5 years, but we are still not feeling it on the ground. Because I'm also a supplier to a lot of construction companies, dumpy levels, automatic levels, global positioning systems. So we have not yet felt the new wind.
Yeah, no, because I'll give the simple answer to your question. Why do things go wrong? If I do wrong, if I decided to do something right, how on this earth things will go wrong? Because I know, because I want to drive into this lane, I want to drive with this speed. I don't want to drive rash. I don't want to take unnecessary risk into breaking the lanes. Accident rarely happen. In our case, we are party to it. We can't blame. It's very easy to blame anybody in this country or this world, because government is like this, because ministers are like this. We are like this. How can because anybody become bad? Because when you both join hand, then only. So I don't think because we have a right to blame anybody. Let's analyze ourselves. Let's do the introspection and because see that how we can improve. Then there is because a lot of answers will unfold.
So that it's just playing by the rule book is the moral of the story. Praveen.
Yeah, good evening, sir. So you spoke about taking up, hello. Yeah, you spoke about taking a project when it was higher, the entire value of the project was equal or more than your entire turnover. I just wanted to know more about that project. Was it a seamless delivery to the end client because you put your entire workforce to do something which you have not done earlier? Was it seamless or still did you have escalations, and at that stage, if you had escalations in any instance, how did you manage it? And was it showstoppers to your end client?
It was absolutely seamless because we had put our whole soul, heart, our experience, everything into it. And it was very calculated one. It was not haphazard. It was very calculated, very systematically worked out, and all the aspects of that projects we had put onto the your flow chart, bar chart. We had analyzed where is the critical path, and how to combat that or how to overcome that. So all the answers were there, and flow was very good because clients were interested. They were paying Rajesh, because we submit the bill. Believe me, next day check used to be ready. So there was commitment from both the end. Normally, because anything goes wrong because 2 people when they're together, why things go wrong? Because somebody is lacking with their own commitment, into their own commitment. that is where problem starts. Here it was amazing experience.
So that is the only, that period is the only project, or you're taking 90% of your staff?
No, we're doing other, because that is how we could, that scalability, because how in life happens. That is how we could reach to that. Next project was in the same city with Nirlon, Goregaon. We got another 100 crore project, because this led us to take that.
Wow, so Nirlon is also made by you?
Yeah, Nirlon.
Okay. I didn't know
Thank
that.
you, sir.
NM College was also constructed by them, and Rocket period. In their vacation, they constructed the building. So friends, we come to the end of the session, and I think Mr. Anthony Sequeira wants to ask a last question. I can't refuse him. He's the chairman of my organization, actually. Yeah, Mr. Sequeira.
This is not a question. Just since I know him, I thought I will share with you people. His biggest success is, as told earlier, humility. Second thing is, he is excellent in public relationship. And I am also the beneficiary of his relationship. I have attended so many parties what he has conducted, wherein present bureaucrats, retired bureaucrats, politicians, all are there, and that is the reason of his success.
I would like to request Mr. Anthony Sequeira to come up.
I must say one thing, because he spoke about my humility. You know, from these words and this whatever I'm doing now today, lot credit goes to him. Because we have been seeing you, sir, and was learning, because still a lot to learn.
Yeah, Maheshji.
Once again, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, thinking of me and getting me on this platform. This is amazing. The kind of work he's doing at this age is, forget about, because we talking about any inspiring conversation, because a lot to be learned from this gentleman. I think you are doing wonderful job. Keep doing all the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.